Welcome! If you're watching this series, you are probably already at least a little familiar with the incredible events that took place on October 13th, 1917 in Fatima, Portugal. How did this phenomenon happen? Why was Fatima, Portugal chosen to be the location of such an incredible event? Central to this miracle were the three Fatima Seers, Lucia, Fransisco, and Jacinta. Their stories have been told many times and heard by millions. However, their stories are only a part of this incredible event. There were thousands of secret witnesses to the Fatima miracle, each of whose eyewitness reports dispels some of the mysteries behind this miracle. Come with me now as we explore this great mystery and meet the secret witnesses of Fatima. Now, I'm going to pause for just a second because something just occurred to me. You're watching this video because you love hearing miraculous stories about Our Lady's love. But what about when you're away from your phone and computer or whatever screen you're watching this on? What about when you want to get away from the internet, but you still want to learn about our Lord and Our Lady? Well, let me introduce you to Crusade Magazine. Crusade Magazine is a beautiful, fully Catholic magazine filled with stories about the saints, cutting edge and current Catholic news, prayer suggestions, and so much more. We at America Needs Fatima designed Crusade Magazine to be a way for you to be inspired, informed, and spiritually fulfilled, especially when you want to get away from your electronics. When you sign up to become one of our Child of Mary members, you automatically receive a Crusade Magazine subscription as one of your gifts. So if you want pages and pages of Catholic content at your fingertips, well, click the link in the description down below to become a Child of Mary and have Crusade Magazine delivered straight to your door. Okay, back to our story. Something we have yet to address in this series is what the Fatima miracle looked like from an atheist point of view. We'll attempt to rectify that in today's episode by taking a step back and viewing the miracle through the events surrounding it, the government's reaction to its prophesied arrival, and what a varied collection of scientists had to say about that fateful day in October 1917. A clique which denied the existence of God and held that religion was a stumbling block to social progress had come to power in Portugal 7 years before the miracle. Its symbols were the triangle and the red star. Its gospel was from the pages of free thought and Marxism. One of the principal Portuguese newspapers of the time was O Século, or The Century, published in Lisbon. Through this newspaper, the government had discouraged all travel to Fatima with suggestions of violence and danger. Soldiers armed with pointed bayonets were placed around the top of the mountain to prevent crowds from assembling, as we remember from Mr. Reyes' testimony. However, and moreover, the government bullies had tried to persuade the children to retract their prophecy, and during 48 hours of imprisonment, the children withstood all threats and cajoleries. Word of this spread through the country and even beyond the borders of Portugal. This, coupled with the strange events reported to have been seen on the mountain, largely explains why such a tremendous crowd braved a cold rain to climb with donkeys, cars, and carts, but the vast majority on foot, up the heights of the bleak mountain 90 miles beyond Lisbon on October 13th, 1917. On this same October 13th, another revolution was reaching its climax on the other side of Europe. That revolution too had its symbols a red star, and its slogan were the same as those which had echoed here in Portugal just 7 years before. Long live liberty! Down with religion! Long live democracy! Even more significant, the proponents of this atheistic revolution, now breaking out on the other side of the world, proclaimed it a world revolution. The Red Star was predicted to rise over mankind before peace would come. Much in the doctrine of this Red Star revolution held appeal to the masses of the world. It had as its slogan, "You have nothing to lose but your chains." It made poverty the world's only sin. It offered common distribution of wealth as the key to world peace and happiness. the children claimed that their visitor from heaven spoke of sins more awful than poverty. They said that shining from the hem of her robe was a great star, not a red star, but a star of light. And she spoke of what was going to happen in Russia and of wars which would come. And she was going to perform a public miracle so that all may believe. What was the effect of the miracle on the unbelievers? Well, there are at least 7 scientifically objective facts. 1, the time and place of this event were predicted in advance. 2, a light of extraordinary power was seen over a radius of more than 20 miles like a wheel of fireworks, sending off great shafts of colored light which tinted objects on the ground. 3, it plummeted toward the earth after several minutes, assuming such a gigantic nearness that tens of thousands of witnesses thought it was the end of the world. 4, the great ball of fire stopped just as it was about to crash upon the earth and returned into the sky. 5th, it came from and went back to the location of the sun, so that those who saw it actually thought it was a sun. 6th, the top of the mountain where this occurred, which had been drenched by several hours of constant rain, suddenly dried within a matter of minutes. 7, tens of thousands of witnesses of all classes and of all various creeds extended over an area of about 600 square miles. Colonel Frederico Ohm, professor of the Faculty of Sciences and director of the Lisbon Observatory, stated,
"If it were a cosmic phenomenon, astronomical and meteorological observatories would not have failed to record it. And this is precisely what is missing. That inevitable recording of all the disturbances in the world system, no matter how small they may be."
Asked if this phenomenon was of a psychological nature, the scientist replied that it might have been, but as an astronomer, he could definitely affirm one thing.
"It is completely foreign to the branch of science that I cultivate."
This statement by Colonel Ohm was published in O Seculo in Lisbon shortly after the miracle occurred, with the intention of giving the only possible explanation which science could offer: collective suggestion. However, as the evidence has been studied and evaluated, it becomes absolutely certain that the phenomenon was not the result of mass hypnosis or collective suggestion. The reasons are: 1, it was witnessed over a large area by persons not in the crowd. 2, among the crowd were scientists and non-believers who viewed the phenomenon not only with objectivity, but with particular care to protect themselves from the possibility of collective suggestion. For example, we have the Baron of Alvazier, who carefully took all the precautions outlined by Gustavo Le Bon in his Psychology of the Crowd. The Baron had not expected a miracle and wanted to be sure that he would not be the victim of suggestion. He died in 1955, and in a deposition to the Canonical Committee, he stated,
"An indescribable impression overtook me. I only know that I cried out, 'I believe, I believe, I believe,' and tears ran from my eyes. I was amazed, in ecstasy before the demonstration of divine power, converted me in that moment."
Dr. Garrett, a professor from the University of Coimbra, in detailed testimony describes that he feared some impairment to his retina, covered his eyes, and turned in an opposite direction, opened his eyes again, and continued to see the miracle. Several other men of science who were actual witnesses testified to the objective reality of the phenomenon and added that no natural explanation could be given.
Of the historic reality of this event, there can be no doubt whatsoever. That it was outside and against known laws can be proved by certain simple scientific considerations. Given the undubitable reference to God and the general context of the event, it seems that we must attribute to him alone the most obvious and colossal miracle of history.
And there we have it, with the testimonies of countless witnesses ranging from both believers and atheists. We can weigh the words of everyone and still find the common thread. Amidst the shock and awe, mystery and elation, there was something tangible there, and that something changed everything for this small town in Portugal and altered the course of history for the world. Join me next week as we wrap up this exploration of the untold side of the Fatima miracle and address this very important question. What did it prove? And as always, the answer to our questions will come from one of the secret witnesses of Fatima. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you've noticed, but we actually don't run ads on this channel. We don't want you to be bombarded with distractions while trying to learn about Our Lady. And because we don't make money from ads, we rely completely on our Child of Mary members to help us to spread the Fatima message all across YouTube. And if you want to help us and receive these spiritual gifts in return, then all you have to do is to click the link in the description box down below to become a Child of Mary. Once you click that link and become a Child of Mary, we will send you this beautiful metal lapel pin. You will also be given a subscription to Crusade magazine. And my favorite, you will have a daily Catholic Mass prayed in your name and for your intentions. And you will also receive this incredible ebook. So, don't wait. Become a Child of Mary today to receive your spiritual gifts and to help us spread devotion to Our Lady all across YouTube. Just click the link in the description to become a Child of Mary. God love you.